Welcome back to a small update video today. We're talking about AMC, GME, BYND, Bed Bath & Beyond, FFAI, GoPro, DGT, and Bitcoin. If you're interested, just stay tuned. So, as always, I'm using the Fractal method. Explanation video for this I will post at the end of the video, how it works and so on and so on. Well, let's start with AMC. And as you see, my right light now finally killed itself completely. Yeah? So today I also have a dark side. Will be fixed in the next video. For tracking for AMC, again, no big update today for the full story. 2-part squeeze, 1-part squeeze, price targets. I will link the big update video at the end. Today we just look what we have done this week. So let's zoom in. So, and well, I think now the last person is agreeing that we are in a pullback. Yeah, because pretty clear. For the question, are we finished? Are we close to the 0.5? First of all, my targets still are there. The 0.5, the 0.618. Yeah? Means still 134 or 123. Yeah, but I also said in the last video that I'm okay with if we're bouncing somewhere in this range. Yeah, so 143 was, I think, the lowest price today. Could be enough. Yeah, I also said in the last weeks that I already bought 50% here, and this week I bought 10% here. And to be absolute transparent, I bought the last ones here. Yeah, not because I'm thinking that we can't fall lower, just because, as I'm always saying, we are in a zone where it's just dangerous not to have a position. Yeah. And also to say this with no financial advice, I only have Junes. Yeah. Why? And shares, of course, but why Junes? Simple as that. If we're not seeing a move till June, that's bad. Yeah, because then I think we will make a new all-time low, and then it's over. I really want to see, at least, even if we're only doing the small squeeze, yeah, it should at least start in May. So, for what will happen next week, especially with the move of GME today, which will come after that, do I think we can squeeze next week? And for this, I really have to say, I already wrote that in the comments today. One main rule I had on this channel when I created it was I don't want to be one of these shitholes on YouTube which are screaming next week every fucking week just to be right. And that since years, especially in the last months. Yeah, I don't want to be some guy. For me, I set the rule, I will say next week only if everything is looking 100% perfect. Yeah? And even then it's hard for me. And not because I want to be right all the time. I don't care. Yeah, I just showing my tracking, and I will tell you my my thinking. Yeah, and if I don't think 100% we go next week, I won't sit here and tell you 100% next week just to get more views or to be right. I don't care. Yeah. So for could it be the next week? In my opinion, no. Yeah. This today could be the end of the pullback. Okay. But what we are still missing is the higher low. Still. Yeah. This higher low we can't do in pre-market Monday. It's too much price action. Yeah. So I only have 2 ways. First, we're doing the absolute quick way. The absolute quick way is this was the bottom of our A pullback. Perfect. We will run up. Most likely, I think earnings are Tuesday till Tuesday. Yeah, we are not going over 157, and till Friday we're falling, but we're doing a higher low. Then we have a very good chance that we start on Monday, the 11th of May. Yeah? If not, the slower version would be this is not finished yet. Yeah? And in that case, all next week, we are still falling. And to say this, it could easily be some slow shit like this. That could also mean we just go up into earnings, and after that, we fall to the 0.5. Yeah? Till Friday, without doing a higher low. In that case, from Monday, the 11th, till Friday, the 15th of May, we would then do the higher low. And then we go. And to make that absolutely clear, if we do this, you might see me on Friday the 15th, yeah, or Thursday, and make a video and just say, yes. Yeah. But for next week, in my opinion, I see no chance. For all the people who are new and didn't see that, it's just this chart. Yeah, all charts, 1 hour AMC, left side today, next one January 2021, next one April 2024 to May 2024, and the last one April to May 2025. And all upruns to A were differently. In 2021 it was a higher low, and then A. In 2024 it was just a run to A, and in 2025 it was a higher low and then a run to A. So these uptrends were differently. What there is in common was every time we did an A, every single squeeze of AMC, every single squeeze, we got a pullback before that. In 2021 it was a 0.5. In 2024, it was a 6.8, and in 2025, it came close to the 0.5. Yeah? So that's why I say we could be finished here. Yeah? Maybe a little bit lower, but we don't have to touch the 0.5. What all 3 squeezes have in common is all of them did a higher low after that. All of them. And that's why I can't say next week. I just can't. We're still missing the higher low. Yeah. And if you look here, this is not little price action which you're doing in pre-market. Yeah. That not enough time for this. Because I'm 100% sure I will get that question because of GME, which we'll look in a second. Yeah. But the question, how is it possible that GME goes now up, but AMC is not ready? Because they should squeeze together like 2021, 2024, 2025. Yeah, but they are only synchronized in the squeeze. Before that, every single one of these are doing its own thing. Otherwise, the charts would be the same, which they aren't. Yeah? So GME can go up, AMC can go down. It's happened so many times in the past. It's no problem right now. Okay, so yeah, that was AMC. Well, then let's jump into GME. So for GME, also the big update, the whole story, the price targets. How will the squeeze look like? 1 part, 2 part squeeze. I will link the big update video again at the end of the video. Now, today we just look what we have done today. So let's zoom in. I really hope that some of you already played this. What I'm talking about. The first thing is we had till, when was that? We had till last Friday. Yeah, till, last Thursday. we had still the possibility that we go to 17. Yeah, but with this move, the 17 alternative was off the table, as I said. So there is nothing left than the bullish variant. And the bullish variant, without going into macro tracking, and the big one, is just this is our macro T. November was our V. Perfect higher low. A. Perfect A pullback to the 618. And right now, this is just a middle A. Yeah? The peak in April was middle B. What we are waiting for is middle C, which is our big A. Yeah? What I mean with that, I said in the last videos, 17 is off the table. Confirmation was breaking 25. No alternative left was breaking M. Yeah? And I said, if we're doing this, we will do our A run. But we are running out of fucking time. Yeah? The thing with GME is, we have to do this move next week. Yeah. In that case, I really have to say we have to do this week. And suddenly GME is, there is this tinfoil, it doesn't matter if it's true or not, that GME wants to buy eBay. Perfect time for that. Yeah. So what, in my opinion, will happen? Yeah. Our big A has to be over T. Yeah. So the thing is, you don't want to fall under this trend line again. What trend line I'm talking about? I'm talking about this trend line. I mean, okay, it's not really helping, yeah, because I mean, you have the top, and then down here you have 2, maybe 3 touch points. Yeah, not really helping. But what is our target now? I said in I don't know, since months, yeah, if we're doing this this run, yeah, this A has to be over 28, yeah, and in my opinion, between 30 and under 37, because we are not breaking this M now. Yeah. And then, same like AMC, we're doing this pullback, and in the moment GME is finished with this pullback, both squeeze. So I really have to say I expected this run earlier, because you have to imagine, let's say we're just going to 30, okay? You still have to do this run and still have to do this pullback. Yeah, I mean, okay, if you just run next week up and instantly falling because the tinfoil was wrong suddenly, yeah, that's okay. Yeah, but if we look at this price action here, we really ran out of time, because if we just do this and this, I mean, there's no time for this bullshit. But okay, if we now just do brump and brump, perfect. Yeah. The only alternative, which I absolutely not standing behind it, is we are not doing this. Yeah. In that case, I really have to say, if you break over 37.56, if you go up here and you break this level, this pullback isn't making sense anymore. Then GME just goes. Okay, in that case, AMC also goes. But yeah, I don't think that. Yeah, you know me, I still want my pullback. What candle would that be? For macro protecting position, I would say December 2020. Yeah, some of these candles pull back and go. Yeah, these 2 candles would it be. So, because I said I hope you played it, because today, yeah, I had an RLED here at 2561, because this was our confirmation M, yeah? And I bought calls here. in the moment we broke it. Yeah. And at the end of the day, they were already 400% up. Yeah. It's just a little YOLO play for next week. Just one warning. Yeah. If you think about, no financial advice, if you think about to buy on Monday, calls for Friday. Yeah. I mean, I still think that we go up to 30, 35, 36-ish for our A and doing the pullback then. But for the rules, this could be enough for A. Just little warning. Yeah. The buy-in was clearly the break of this, just for the YOLOs. Yeah. Because it's very possible that this here was our peak, just for A, just for our A, and we now do the 0.5. Still possible. Yeah. So in that case, we would come back down here, and then we go. I mean, okay, in that case, if we really saying on Monday, and Ryan Cohen is saying, hey, we never talked about eBay. What bullshit is this? Yeah. And you knife down. Yeah. In that case, if we're doing this, yeah, in my opinion, yeah, AMC found its bottom today. It just will do its higher low till Friday. And this would be the Monday 11th. Pretty simple. And we go. Both AMC and GME. If we're still going up, then we go somewhere in this range. Full next week or till Wednesday, something like that. And then we're doing the 0.5 pullback. Thing like this. And in that case, AMC will also take 2 weeks. These two things are going hand in hand. Yeah? So let's see what happens on Monday. Yeah? And of course, it doesn't matter what the news is. Yeah? They will write the news for whatever the Fractal needs. Yeah? If we still go up, I think we won't get any news. Yeah? If GME goes up, you won't hear anything. We just go up. I still think at whatever top we get, if it's this or this, suddenly someone will say, we never talked about BYND, about eBay. Yeah, then we knife. Yeah, and here, down here, when the squeeze happens, oh, right, we talked about eBay. You know, the news is always written for the move. The move is not coming because of the news. Yeah, but all in all, it looks fantastic. And yeah, I saw many people still being absolutely fucking stubborn and saying, we will now dilute. We will now still going to 17. I just have, I could be wrong. I don't have it on the table. And I would say if we would have gotten this news in after hours, we didn't. So let's see. Okay, next one is BYND. Also here, big update video. At the end of the video, we are still today only looking at the micro tracking. So let's zoom in. Also here, because I got a lot of questions. Can we squeeze next week? Because of course, suddenly everyone is talking about BYND, and suddenly next week price target is 200. Yeah. Can we squeeze next week? Yes. If we're doing something stupid, why not? But if I'm not seeing it 100% on my side, you won't hear from me next week. For BYND, it's even a little bit more different because, yeah, we can really just go. What we are doing right now is micro tracking. Yeah, the macro tracking is just we did the A pullback. Yeah, the middle one. Next level is at least, in my opinion, for B something in this range, or we're doing something stupid. That's absolutely in the cards. But if we are not doing something quick, we're just going with our step by step. Yeah, I'm really pretty convinced. Yeah, that we are not going under this trend line again. Just saying. Yeah, we're not going under. What is it? Under 70 cents again. Yeah, I just don't see that. If we do that, that would be fucking bad. Just saying. For the micro tracking, yeah, this here is our middle A. Yeah, V middle A. It was a wonderful 618 pullback, and now our next target is middle B. Yeah, and as I said, middle B has to be over M, so over 161, and under T. Yeah, but most likely under this trend line. The big trend line, which is coming from the lower high in February 2021 through everything here. Yeah. So I would say if you're doing it step by step, your next price level would be, wait, let's make that absolutely perfect. 574, something like that. Yeah, maybe higher. But if you're doing that step by step, little 0.5 pullback, and then we're already running to middle C. Yeah, middle C is our macro A. Yeah, and macro A has to be over T, macro T, and that's 15 to 43. 43. If we're not just squeezing and doing something stupid, it's always on the table. Yeah, I only can go out from landmarks. That's it. Yeah, I'm not. I will not sit here and say, "Hey, the news are so bullish." Yeah, my gut is saying we're going and squeeze 1000% next week. Yeah, I want to make this as neutral as possible, because if you want to hype videos, I think there are enough YouTubers out there. Yeah, and most of them are 90% wrong. Yeah, so we're just looking at levels. So for levels, A pullback, the middle A pullback was finished, in my opinion, here, April 29th. Yeah? And then we got a good push up. This here is our little A. Yeah? Just a little A, yeah, for our next middle B. Yeah? If we do that. Yeah? That means if you look, here's our T. We went over it, but we didn't went over M. So this can only be an A. Yeah? What is an A doing? An A is doing a 0.5, 618 pullback. Right now, we are in the middle of it. Here. We are in the middle of the 0.5, we are in the mid and over the 618. So if we micro track this, and guys, I do that for you. Why not? But I'm also always saying micro tracking, because you see it. We are on the 5 minute. Yeah, can drive you fucking crazy. Yeah, because the mistakes you can make, not even because you can't track, just because it's so tiny. The mistakes, sometimes you can't even do anything against it. Just saying. But for this micro tracking, just from the run from Wednesday till today, yeah, here's our middle A. Here, this, in my opinion, is for sure our lower high, and then it gets tricky. Yeah, in the best case, I really have to say, in the best case, yes, here's our M, here's our T, and this today, when the market was opening, was our V. Yeah, in that case, you're for sure doing the higher low, at least in pre-market Monday, and you go up. Yeah, no questions asked, just up. Yeah, if not, yeah, you still have the possibility to go a little bit lower. Yeah, in that case, your V will be around 91-ish, maybe 90-ish. Yeah. What you're not allowed to do is touching 86. Just saying. You're not allowed to touch 86. Why? Just because A isn't pulled back to the 786 fib. Yeah. Only higher low is doing that. But for higher low, we are already too high. Because also, yeah, we are too high. So you're 0.5, you're 6.8. Something in this range you have to bounce. Yeah. In that case, I mean, we could now go on the 1 minute if you want. Yeah. In that case, if we're just tracking the T, yeah, this would be C, this would be lower high, this would be M. Well, you could say T, higher low, A. So, meh. After this movement, I could say, yeah, there's a good chance we are finished for Monday. So, next moves. Yeah. Of course, as I said, finished, we could just squeeze. Why not? Yeah. If we not see suddenly 1000%, yeah, what are we doing? Yeah. Without the micro tracking. Yeah. And I say without the micro tracking because if we're not doing it really slow, with really slow, I mean, this is our A. We would go up. This would be our B. Go down again, go up again. That I mean with micro tracking on the 1 hour. Yeah. I wouldn't look at this way. Just saying. Yeah. Of course you can, but it will drive you crazy. For the bigger zoomed out version, and that is even micro tracking. Yeah. I would just say we finished our A. Next target is over middle M. That means over 160. Yeah. So you have to go up. If you're not just squeezing, I think this will be your max target for this. Yeah. 756. If you do something stupid, I mean, for logical reasons, maybe we're doing this till Tuesday. When is earnings? Oh, till Wednesday. Yeah. Because earnings is on Wednesday. Then earnings happens. This would be a B. You're doing a 0.5 pullback. Yeah. Because of whatever news. And after you got the 0.5 pullback, you go to your C, your big A. Yeah. If you do something stupid, yeah, what are the price targets to break? Yeah. First of all, if you're not looking at the micro tracking, so forget this little B. We're only looking at the big ones. Same thing which we did here. If you just go upside and you break T, that means if you break $15, you are in the range of big A. Big A, the range for big A is this here, over 15, under 44. Yeah? If you go just up, but you're not breaking this M line, you will do the breakout retest. You will do the 618 0.5 pullback. Also, warning, yeah, this pullback from big A won't be quick. Yeah. If you look at the higher low, it was a multi-month pullback. If you look the macro T, it was a multi-month pullback. M, multi-month pullback. Just saying. Yeah. This tiny tracking takes hours, days. The macro pullbacks will take longer. So if you reject somewhere under 43, be prepared that the 0.5618 pullback will take longer. But if you just go through here, you don't get pullbacks. If you go over 45, wherever our target is, over all-time highs, under all-time highs, at all-time highs, this would be your peak. The peak of the new fractal. That, to make that absolutely clear. Yeah. If you suddenly, I don't know, stop at 200, this will be your next C. End of story. After that, only this comes. And this will be years, to be clear. Yeah. But all in all, BYND looks perfect. Yeah. Only question is, are we doing it quick? Are we doing it slow? Yeah. For me, it's still July, August maximum for at least A. If we're doing it quicker, yeah, then this July, August. So let's say if we're doing something like this, July, August would be the lower high. Let's see. Yeah. I'm also in position. I have some Mays, just YOLOs. My main position is still January, not because I think it will take till then, just because I bought them for 2 cents. Yeah, I mean, why not? You have a lot of time. The IV will pay massively, and I have no stress. But this thing still looks perfect. And how it seems like May will be the squeeze month again for many tickers. Next one, Bad Buy from BYND. So for Bad Buy from BYND, only today, just a small update. For the big one, I will post. Just watch the last video. For Bad Buy from BYND, you should just watch the last video. But yeah, I mean, it looks fucking great. Yeah. To say this for BYND, for the bullish tracking, April 9th, Wednesday, was our low. Since then, we're doing the macro higher low already. For the bullish tracking, April 7th, 2026 was the finish of this macro higher low. Then we got this massive move, yeah, because of earnings. But we didn't broke T. Yeah. We rejected under it. Yeah. So this little shitty thing here is just a micro higher low for the macro higher low. And what is a higher low in January doing? It's going to its 786. We did that. We bounced. So I won't micro track this. Just saying. But for the bullish version, your next target is over 15 for A, over 40 for B, and then the only question is, are you breaking all-time highs or not? Also, as I said in the last video, I don't think we will get an A or an B pullback here. We're comparing this to 2021. And in that case, you see this here, you have little pullbacks. But these are not 0.5, 0.61, 618. It's just after the higher low, you're steadily going up. Also to say this, BYND squeezed before AMC and GME. And in the time where AMC and GME squeezed, this was here. BYND had a move, Bad Buy from BYND had a move, but not a squeeze. We already topped before that. So yeah, it looks good that the move is starting now, yeah, and it can get violently, absolutely. But I'm still of the idea Bad Buy from BYND is doing its own thing, yeah. Only because maybe AMC and GME are squeezing in the next weeks doesn't mean that, or I'm pretty confident that it wouldn't, that Bad Buy from BYND is at all-time highs with AMC and GME. Yeah, just because in 2021 it didn't care. So could be wrong, but I think it's just doing its own thing. Yeah. Good. Next one, DGT. So DGT also looks interesting, but for DGT, I really think DGT is not finished yet. To make that absolutely clear. Especially, I really think that DGT has nothing to do with the memes. Really saying, yeah, because okay, the IPO was in 2021, but in September. And I really didn't really found, let's see, where is May? Here. Yeah, I mean, it had a little move, but not a move, really big one. And in 2025, it also had a little bull move. Yeah, but no really squeezes. Yeah, so I really think that also DGT is doing its own thing. For the Fractal, yeah, just IPO. I think IPO was just a V. In here is a higher low, and then it just went up. 2 candles upside IPO all-time highs. Then you have a massive lower high, you have a massive midpoint, you have massive T. Yeah. I think we got our all-time low yet now, so we will talk at that in a second. You only have now to do the macro higher low. And for the macro higher low, you have 2 possibilities. First, you're doing this macro higher low. That means you're not breaking $21-ish, or you're doing the big macro higher low. In that case, you're not breaking 33. Yeah. Why? We have 2 trend lines. We have the main trend line, which is just C and M. In that case, you will do the big one. Yeah, because you're not allowed to break over this trend line. But there's the rule that if T is too short, you get the MT line. In that case, it's this trend line. That would be the faster version, because in that case, you're doing the small macro higher low. That means you're not going over 20. But in my opinion, that would be the better version, because it would be quicker. And it would be quicker to start the really big moves. What big moves I'm talking about? Whatever higher low we're doing. After this higher low, your next A is over 60. Your next B is over 80. And for DGT, I would also say you don't see the pullbacks, because every big landmark, you just go up. Especially if you look at this, this is one fractal. And this one fractal is finishing now. So we start at the beginning again. And the IPO was just vertical. It's stupid, I know, but we will see. So for the micro tracking now, because right now we are doing our small higher low. Yeah. What higher low I'm talking about? I'm talking just this little higher low, yeah, from this T. Yeah. After that, we are doing the macro higher low of the whole fractal. Yeah. But right now, we are still in the little micro higher low, just for this section here. Is this micro higher low finished? And that's the thing. I really don't think so. Yeah. Also here, we have here our tiny T, just saying, here's our absolute button. We went up, we didn't went over T. That means this is our micro higher low. And now we're just tracking from micro tracking. Yeah. Here's our, let's put that away. It's a C. Okay. Our top, our lower high, our midpoint. Yeah. And I think what we did today, Friday, was the peak of our T. Yeah. Where do we have to go? We have to go V under A. Yeah. So it has to be here under 880 or under the 786, which is quite the same. Yeah. So I think at least next week we still have to come down here. Yeah. I mean, that's 6% in 1 week is easy doable. Yeah. Whatever news, if there is even news, doesn't matter. Yeah. After we finish that, we can add another micro higher low, just a micro mini higher low of this micro higher low, you know that. But after that, we start with the big ones. Yeah. The big ones should be at least over 15, just saying. And could we do something stupid? Yeah, because I'm sure I'm getting this question. After this higher low, why not? Wouldn't bet for it, but why not? Yeah. Your next level for something stupid to break is 17. If you break 17, perfect. Next one would be 23. If you're breaking 23, perfect. If you break over 30, ooh, the only level to break after 30 would be 38. If you're going over 38, you are in squeeze mode. Yeah. So, looks fantastic. Next one, FFAI. So, I mean, if you're already watching me longer, you know I hate this stock. Yeah. But yeah. For tracking, IPO was at C, lower high, midpoint T. If we're not bearish and if we're not going bankrupt or reverse split, down here on April was our V. To the micro tracking, we come in a second. Whatever we are doing down here, if we are bullish, our next A has to be over T, means over $4. Our next B has to be over M, over $154. And C breaking all-time highs, whatever. Again, yeah, because we have already 3 reverse splits. Yeah, without a forward split, you're not breaking over M. You can still go up here, but if you're not doing a forward split, this will be your deadline, and the death spiral will continue and you will go bankrupt. But who cares? Yeah, if you're going up there. For micro tracking, because even if I hate FFAI, it's starting getting interesting. Okay. We start with the bearish alternative just because it's the easiest one. If you break down here, and you touch or break 20 cents again, this stock is dead. You will get a reverse split. Doesn't matter how good the CEOs are. They already did it 3 times. Or you go bankrupt. The list, OTC, whatever. The second bearish alternative is that this here was our T. Yeah? And this here, it doesn't work really good. But just as an alternative is a C. And this is just the peak of the higher low. In that case, you still have to come down to 27 cents. Still. In that case, I really have to say it will take a little bit. Yeah. Because this here was your lower high. You might even go up here. This would be your M. Yeah. You will fall, come up again, T, and then you will finish it. This would take some time, really. But this would still be, it would be a bearish alternative, but it would still be bullish, because in that case you would still bounce at 27 and then do something stupid. For the bullish alternative, because I can't really rule that out anymore. It's just, you have your V here. You have your micro higher low here. You went up 0.618 pullback. This is your little tiny A. You went up to your B, because from this bottom to this top, also, I mean, it's a 618 pullback, but you didn't touch the 786. And right now you're going up. And if you really want to micro track this shit, V, higher low, A, B. And if we look at these fibs, let's do that. If this is our A, this is still a perfect little B. So for the bullish alternative, because the thing is, we have no landmarks anymore, in my opinion. Yeah. because in that case, it doesn't matter if this is T or this is T. If you go over 61 cents, I wouldn't say there is. I would say there's not even a, how do I say that in English? There is no small chance anymore to do something stupid. There is a big chance to be something stupid. After this level, especially, I don't think that we even see something. We don't see the break of 143. And I mean, we're not seeing it. We're just gapping over this. Yeah. So let's see. Could be an interesting week next week. Yeah. I'm also interested. But for FFAI, it's always the same. Yeah. We comparing it to this, to this, to this. After a higher low, it can do something stupid. Yeah. It's not a stock for me for big positions. I have a tiny position, but I mean, who cares? If we do really something stupid like this, even a tiny position is massive. Yeah, but maybe a new update on GoPro. So, what do I mean with a new update on GoPro? I think because I was working this Friday, the last Friday, with a colleague of mine, quite, I would say, half an hour, 1 hour on this. And to say that, I think my bullish tracking was too small. Really, I think my bullish tracking was too small. Just to say, yeah, main idea is from Brew, yeah, but I'm absolutely agree with it. Yeah, but I would have tracked it smaller. But for the tracking for GoPro, here's our C, all-time highs. Yeah, lower high, midpoint T. For the bullish tracking, this down here is our V, April 2025. Since then, we're doing higher low. And in my opinion, I mean, that's was also the old tracking. The higher low is already finished with March 2026. And if we go now into micro tracking, before we go into the good things, you already went up. You already did your little A. You already did your little A pullback, and you're going. Yeah. For the bigger tracking, because micro tracking, this shit is it doesn't make sense. Yeah, not making sense of the it doesn't make sense to do it. Yeah? But your next target, and that's the stupid part. This is macro higher low. Your next target is macro A. Yeah, and that means you have to go over T. And if you same thing like the AMC tracking, you don't want to fall under this trend line again. And A has to go so high that you can do a 0.5, 0.618 pullback. So in that case, I would say 16, maybe higher. Yeah. Because if you break the M line, you go higher. Just saying. But in that case, I would say 16 for the A. Then you're doing your 0.5, 0.618 pullback, breakout retest. Yeah. And here comes the interesting part. I mean, that is also already crazy. Just think about it. We are sitting at 1.75 right now. We're looking for 16. Yeah. But the really interesting part is what comes after this. Yeah. And for this, I don't think we're getting M. Yeah. Because we only have to look at IPO. This here is IPO. And if we look at IPO, so the IPO, in my opinion, was coming off the higher low. Yeah, you have to imagine that somewhere here was your V, here did your higher low, and this here is A. Because if you look from our IPO lowest low to the peak, this is a 618. We did the 618 pullback. We go up again, came nearly over A, and then we just gapped. And if we now compare this to now, just for explanation, right side 4 hour IPO, left side 10 hour, just so we get everything on the monitor today. So in that case, here is your V, same as here. This is the last thing of the higher low. And this section here, this here, would be this here. And this is why it gets so fucking stupid. Because after this pullback, I mean, this is already a moneymaker. Just saying, this is already a moneymaker. But if you just want to wait for the stupid one, wait for this pullback. This gap here is bringing you easily over all-time highs. Easily. I don't know what the news will be for this. I mean, they're already working on it. With GoPro is now going into military contracts with their cameras. I mean, makes sense. Yeah, so I don't know, maybe main contracts for US military or whatever. Yeah, this is a fucking big move. So let's see. GoPro is looking fucking interesting. Just saying. Yep. So I think, oh no, Bitcoin. Because someone wanted to know my Bitcoin tracking. I already showed that once, I think months ago. Nothing really changed. Thing is, I know this is the Bitcoin charts from Binance. I know there are way bigger charts. Yeah. But just saying, for the bigger charts, it's just something like this here, for example. Wait, where is it here? It doesn't matter, because in that case, we're still tracking for a C. Yeah. In that case, you would have your A here, your B here, and you would macro, the absolutely zoomed out thing. Here would be somewhere your C. Doesn't matter if you're now going down or up. We will talk about that in a second. So your end target would be still something up here. The only question is what happens after that, because this would be a macro C. Yeah. Macro C means after that you go V under A. Yeah. So I don't know if cryptocurrency is then forbidden or legal or something like that, but this would the same thing be like the macro tracking for SPY. Yeah. If we ever get to a C, also for SPY, we're getting, I don't know, World War III or whatever. Yeah. But for the main tracking I have for Bitcoin right now, it doesn't matter, because this would be just the way up to this big C I was showing you. So for the micro tracking on the 24-hour chart for Bitcoin, you have your A. And the question is right now, did you already got your B peak? Because that's really the question. I know, and I mean, everyone knows that. Everyone or many people are tracking this to this. Because, yeah, it looks like the same. Yeah? And many people are tracking that this peak is this peak, this peak is this peak, this low is this low, this first drop is this first drop. And I mean, I really have to say, it looks fucking perfect. This is this. It just does. But for our tracking method, I give you a bullish and a bearish alternative. For the bullish alternative, yeah, you have your C, you have your lower high, you have your M, and you have your T. In that case, this is your V. And if we zoom in, this is your V, this is your higher low, this is your A. And right now, in my opinion, you're still doing your B. Yeah. Maximum for this B, in my opinion, is something at 88, 89. Up here, this would be a B. You're doing a 0.5 pullback or 618. And then is only the question, are you going up? Because if you're breaking 97, you're not breaking down anymore. You're going up. But if you reject here, or if you're not stopping here, your next target is 40K. Yeah, as the same thing as all people are tracking it. Because why? If this here was your macro B or middle B, yeah, you have to pull back 0.5618. So 43 or even 34. Yeah. And in that case, yeah, you could still go up here. But if you reject somewhere here, you really are here. Easy. And you will massively, I mean, you see that. The next, if you drop, this won't be a small drop. You really will knife. In that case, I would even expect you go to the 0.5, you get a bounce, yeah, because in that case, this here would be just your M, yeah, this would be your T, same as here. Everyone will say, hey, we hit 40K, it's over, bye. But then you still drop to your 618, to 35. And then you would repeat this here again. Yeah. So I would just wait for levels. Yeah. I mean, for the levels, I would really say everything over 98. And you will break all-time highs. You will break all-time highs. No financial advice. If you break 98, you will break all-time highs. And whatever number we get. For downside, it's a little bit more difficult because really the clearest number is if you break 70K, that's really bearish. But the problem with this is the same thing like here. I think in the moment you touch that, you just get a knife. It's the same as here. Whatever news it will be. So I have no position in Bitcoin. Yeah, I'm absolutely not can. It's just training, I would say. For me, I just hate crypto because really, I don't want to trade it because I want free time. Yeah, everything which is trading 24 hours and you have no life anymore. Yeah, or for me, because really, if I track something, I track it. Yeah, if I would start tracking or trading crypto, I was only sitting in front of the PC and where's the next day? This would kill me. That's why I don't do that. Yeah? But I still see two ways, bullish or bearish. I mean, to say that here, I think this was March 2026. I was pretty confident that we really are here. Yeah, same as I think 90% of the people. But I tried to put in an alternative in the last months, and I can't overlook the bullish version. Yeah. For me right now, I would say 50-50. Yeah. And one last thing, also Bitcoin, I'm not combining that with SPY and Nasdaq or IMM, for example. You saw that in the since October. Yeah. That Bitcoin can go inverse market and SPY. Yeah. Of course, now people will tell you, yeah, because Bitcoin is lagging and Bitcoin also. Maybe. Yeah. Maybe not. Yeah. So I wouldn't synchronize them. Yeah. So yeah. Okay. So now we are finished. Was a long video. Okay. One last thing. Because of comments, I'm really trying to answer every single comment. Really. But I also see already that sometimes YouTube is not showing me all my comments. I mean, not the, if you write something, I don't get the notification for it always. Sometimes it takes 1 hour. I don't know why. What I realized is if you answer me on the pin post, I always do on the YouTube channel, I get the notifications earlier. Just saying. Yeah. If you're not answering one of my sentences, it takes very long to get the notification. And especially because I have 2 channels. I have the English one and I have the German one. I always look and switch them to see if someone has a question. But if sometimes this notifications are just not there from YouTube. Yeah. Because so if you really want an answer quick, answer on my questions, not just post, really answer on one of my sentences. I think then YouTube sends me the notification quicker. Just saying. Yeah. Okay. Good. So explanation video here, playlist here, the big update video back here. If you liked it, you can leave a like. If you want to see more, you can leave an abo. And I wish you a nice weekend.